In a small rural town, there lived a humble farmer named John, who had spent his entire life tending to his land. His farm had been passed down through generations, a patchwork of green fields and barns nestled beneath rolling hills. John was known for his quiet demeanor and deep wisdom, a man who always carried a peaceful aura wherever he went. He woke up early each day to work the soil, tend to his animals, and prepare his produce for the local market. One bright Saturday morning, John loaded his old truck with fresh vegetables, eggs, and homemade honey, ready to sell them at the town's weekly market. As he drove down the dirt roads, the sun kissed his weathered face, and a soft breeze swirled around him. Despite the hard labor, John found joy in his simple life, knowing that each day brought new opportunities for connection and growth. When John arrived at the market, the stalls were already filling with vendors and customers. He parked his truck and began unloading his goods, setting up his stand under the shade of a large oak tree. His produce was always the freshest, and his honey had become a favorite of the locals. But on this particular day, something felt different. A group of loud bikers, who had recently moved into the area, had taken over a stall near the center of the market. The bikers were a rowdy bunch, their leather jackets adorned with patches and symbols that hinted at their rebellious nature. They spoke in harsh tones and laughed boisterously, drawing attention wherever they went. John, accustomed to the peaceful rhythm of the market, tried to focus on setting up his stand, but his quiet work was soon interrupted. One of the bikers, a tall man with a grizzled beard and a chain draped across his chest, swaggered over to John's stall. He looked at the vegetables with disdain, his eyes narrowing. "What's all this stuff?" he sneered, his voice dripping with mockery. "Farm fresh vegetables. Is this your idea of food, old man?" John looked up calmly, his withered eyes meeting the biker's. He could feel the tension in the air but chose not to respond with anger. "It's just good food, son," John said softly. "Nothing special, just what I grew on my farm." The biker scoffed and leaned closer. "You really think people want to buy this junk?" he spat, knocking over a basket of tomatoes in a show of disrespect. John didn't flinch. He simply bent down, picked up the fallen tomatoes, and placed them back on the table. "Everyone's welcome to decide for themselves," John said quietly, his voice carrying no malice, only a sense of peaceful resolution. But the biker wasn't finished. He stood up and shouted back to his friends, who were gathered around their own stall nearby. "Hey, guys, check out this old farmer. Thinks he's running a 5-star restaurant here." His laughter echoed through the market, and soon his friends joined in, laughing and making crude comments. The scene was escalating, and the other market-goers began to take notice. Some were uncomfortable with the biker's behavior, but no one spoke up. Everyone had learned it long ago to avoid confrontation in the market. The biker's loudness and aggression filled the air, but John remained unfazed, his calm demeanor unshaken. Just then, one of the bikers made a move that crossed the line. He walked up to the honey jars on John's table and knocked them over, sending sticky golden liquid spilling onto the wooden counter. The market stood still, the atmosphere thick with tension. John finally spoke, his voice steady and firm. "I've asked you kindly before to respect the market. I don't wish to cause any trouble, but I do ask for the same respect I show to you." The biker sneered, clearly enjoying the spectacle. "Respect? From you? What makes you think you deserve it, old man?" John's calm eyes held the biker's gaze, but he said nothing more. He simply turned away and began cleaning up the honey, his movements deliberate and controlled. The situation might have ended there, but just then, a quiet figure approached the market square. It was an older man, wearing a simple cap and sunglasses, his face hidden in the shadow of the brim. As he walked past the bikers, he caught the tail end of their mockery. The biker who had been causing trouble noticed him immediately. "Hey, you!" the biker yelled, pointing at the old man. "What's your problem? Why don't you take your old bones somewhere else?" The old man stopped, his head turning slowly. Without saying a word, he walked over to the biker and stopped just inches from him. The market had grown silent again, the tension in the air palpable. For a long moment, the old man stood still, his posture relaxed but undeniably strong. Then, with a voice that was soft yet carried a weight of authority, he spoke. "You don't know who I am, do you?" The biker, confused by the calm demeanor of the old man, shook his head. "No, I don't care. Who are you?" The old man's expression softened, but there was a quiet power in his voice that made the air around him feel charged. "I was once a commander in the Delta Force," he said slowly, his eyes never leaving the biker's face. "I served in some of the most dangerous parts of the world. protecting lives and ensuring peace. And I did it without ever needing to prove myself to anyone, not even to people like you." The words seemed to hang in the air for a moment before the biker took a step back, clearly taken aback. The other bikers, who had been laughing moments before, now exchanged uneasy glances. The old man continued, his voice steady, "You've chosen to come here and show disrespect to someone who's done nothing but live his life with dignity. That's a choice you'll have to live with, but I promise you, there are consequences to the way we treat others." The biker, now visibly shaken, didn't know how to respond. The other bikers had gone quiet, sensing the gravity of the situation. The old man turned and walked away, leaving the biker standing there, his bravado gone. John, who had been watching quietly from his stall, stepped forward. He placed his hand on the old man's shoulder. "Thank you," he said softly. "I didn't want to escalate things, but I couldn't let them destroy something so simple and good." The old man smiled faintly. "We all have our moments of silence, but sometimes kindness and respect need a voice. It's not always easy to stand up, but it's the right thing to do." The bikers, still stunned by what had just happened, slowly packed up their things and left the market without another word. The market, once filled with tension, returned to its peaceful rhythm. As the day drew to a close, the townspeople spoke in hushed tones about the encounter, but they all agreed on one thing: kindness and respect, when practiced genuinely, have the power to change a situation. It wasn't the force of violence or anger that made the difference. It was the quiet strength of the old man's words and the humility of John's approach that had won the day. John didn't need to prove anything to anyone. His life was a testament to the quiet power of patience, wisdom, and the strength to walk away from conflict with grace. And the lesson was clear to all who witnessed the exchange. We are all capable of making a difference, no matter our background or what others may think of us. Moral of the story: true strength lies in our ability to remain calm and composed, to act with kindness and respect even in the face of hostility. Sometimes, it's the quiet moments that carry the most power, and we all have the capacity to make the world a better place with our words and actions. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends. To subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a nice day.